Hey, this is Alan. Today, I will be showing you how to make a bracelet that actually I did not invent. This is my little brother Wade's original design, the Triangle Burst Bracelet, but I'm going to be showing you how to make it. It's a really cool bracelet, requires 2 looms and quite a bit of bands. Pretty advanced bracelet. So, have fun trying this new bracelet, Triangle Burst. Alright, to set up your loom for this bracelet, you will take 4 bar pins and align them so that you've got a diagonal line of pins. And I find that the best way to keep this stable is to use 2 small bases at each end and then 1 large base in the middle. So, once you've got that all set up, you will take your border color. I'm going to use white, and you are going to take doubled bands and go all the way up the side of the loom. Just straight up. And once you've gotten to the end, go back to the start. Same thing on the opposite side. Take your doubled bands and go all the way up. Alright, once you've gotten all the way up there, you're going back to the beginning, and now you're going to form the triangles by using doubled bands and going up these pins and then up and along those diagonal lines just in a triangle all the way up the loom. So that's gonna look like this. So you'll start to see some nice little triangles forming. Alright, now that we have finished laying our white border bands, we are going to start placing our starbursts. So you go back to the beginning and you'll kind of see this little starburst shape here. This is where we're going to be making our first starburst. So you take just normal single bands, start at the center, go to the 2 o'clock pin, and you will continue placing single bands around clockwise just like a regular starburst. And it does help to push down on the bands as you place them. It will make it easier later on. So once you finish that first one, go on to your second one, same thing, single bands from the center pin to 2 o'clock, then to 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and so on. And last one. Now that we've got all our starbursts placed, all that's left to put on is our cap bands. And so, starting down at the bottom, take the color of your starburst, cap it, twist it in an 8 over your finger, and place it over the center pin in that starburst. Same thing for the next one, color of the starburst, capped, and place over that center pin. And you're going to do that for every starburst. Last one, right here. And now there's only one band left to place. It will be our border cap band. So take your border color, cap it, and place it over this very top right pin right here. And now we can start the looping process. Okay, I forgot one thing. You are going to take the color of your last starburst up on the top here, and you're going to need to place a cap band right here at the top of that starburst. So now we can start looping. Turn your loom around so that the arrows are facing towards you, and you're going to take your hook and start by looping the starbursts. So it's pretty much the same as if you've ever done a starburst before. You're going to go under that cap band you just placed, grab the top blue band, bring it up and over, and now you're simply going to continue going around the starburst counterclockwise, looping the bands back to themselves. So you take that top blue band over to itself, and the next one will be over here, and then up to the top, and so on. Once you're done with that first one, simply move on to the next one. Start with that lower band. It goes down to 6 o'clock. Pull it up to the center, and then continue around clockwise. It'll be the same for all of the starbursts. And last one. Okay, now that we're done with that, we're going back to the beginning of the loom, and we're going to loom these zigzags down the loom. We're not going to loom these border bands yet, so be careful not to touch them, but we're going to. So first, go into that cap band, grab that doubled band, pull it up and over to itself, and now go in under all those bands and grab the next white band and pull it over to itself. Grab the next one and pull it over, and now you're just going to go in there and grab those 2 bands and just ignore those border bands right now. Don't need to mess with those. So you're just going to pull these bands back to themselves all the way up the loom. Now, once you get up to here, this is going to be the last one that you loop for now. So don't go up here, just stop at this peg. We'll loop that later. Now we can go back down to the beginning, and starting with this peg, we're going to go up the side with these border bands. So go in under that cap band, grab that first doubled band, and bring it over itself. Go under all these bands, grab that doubled band on the bottom, and so on all the way down the line. Alright, now is when you can go ahead and loom up this end that we didn't do before. So go in there, grab that doubled band and loop it back over itself. Go all the way down, get that band, and so on up to here. Now we can go back to the beginning and finally loop up this last side. And now we are done with the looping. But we have one more thing to do before we can take it off the loom. So you're going to take a color completely irrelevant to the bracelet you are currently making. I'm going to use some pink bands, and you'll take your hook and go into that pin like so. Take your pink band and put it in your hook and pull it up through that pin so you have both sides of that band on your hook. And make sure that you have all of the ends of the bands that are on this peg on this pink band, and then you can just tie a little slip knot. You do that by taking one end of the pink band, pulling it over off the hook, and then pull it tight. And you're going to do that for the rest of the pegs on the top here, these 3 pegs. So go in, grab that band, pull it through, stick it on your hook, and tie a slip knot. Same thing. And this is our last one right here. And there you have it. We are now ready to take it off the loom. So starting down here, you can use your hook to begin pulling it off, just 1 peg at a time. Since you have these pink bands holding the end, you can go ahead and take these off as well. And there you have your first part of your bracelet. So, to extend your bracelet, flip your loom around so that the arrows are pointing away from you, just like normal. And to make this long enough for my wrist, I will only need 6 more bursts as opposed to 8 more bursts, so I won't be making the full thing again. So what you're going to do is, arrows pointing away from you, you're going to count the number of starbursts you'll need from this side that is farthest away from you. So you can count the triangle shapes or the little burst shapes, whichever works best, but you just have to count 1 triangle, 2 triangles, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so this is the row that we will be starting with. So take your white bands, start wherever you measured is necessary, and using doubled bands, do your border color all the way up the loom as before. And now you can start your other side, but you're going to take your doubled bands and go ahead and go on up this side before you do that. Border. So once you get to here, you can go ahead and go on up the side just like normal. And last one. Now you can go back to the beginning and begin placing the zigzag bands. So starting here, you're going to use your doubled bands and create the triangles just like before. Alright, now we will begin placing our starbursts, but you want to make sure your colors are aligned with the colors of this one that you've already made, and you'll see that this bracelet kind of has a front side and a back side to it, and it kind of has a natural curve. So when you put this back on, it's going to be up here, and it's going to appear to be attached upside down, as opposed to right side up like this, because it comes off the loom upside down. And so you can see from this that you are going to have dark blue here, and light blue here, and dark blue and light blue, and so on. So you can determine that which color you need to start with down here, and in my case I need to start with light blue. So just like before, start going from the center to 2 o'clock and then continue around. And now we just have to place our cap bands on this side of the loom. No, excuse me. Just on your starbursts is the only place where you will need your cap bands for this second part. So take whichever color your burst is cap it, and then stretch it across the center pin of the starburst. And just do this for every starburst. Alright, and there you have placed all the bands for your bracelet. Now we are going to put this part of the bracelet that we've made already onto the loom. So first of all, flip your loom around so that the arrows are pointing towards you, and as you can see, this edge is going to be applied to these 4 pins, and what's on each pink holding band is what you're going to put onto the pin. So you want to take your hook and get everything that's on that rubber band onto that pin. Alright, so now I've got what was on these pink holder bands onto the loom, and so once you're sure that you've got all of that securely on the loom, you can take some scissors, or you can just use your fingers and cut out these pink holder bands. And make sure not to cut anything else. Just want to cut those bands out. Alright, now you are going to actually cut out some more bands. You're going to cut out the bands that go this way that have already been looped. So this top one on this pin, you're going to take that and cut it and pull that on out. Actually, you're going to have to cut both of those two since it was doubled. So cut out both of those. And hold your finger on top of that pin as you pull on it to make sure that you don't pull anything else off. And same thing on top of this pin. Just those top 2 whites are going to be cut out. And lastly, not the top 2 on this one, but these 2 that were looped from this pin to this pin. You'll cut them out. And now we can begin looping. So just like before, we're going to start by looping the starbursts, then we'll loop the zigzags, and then we'll loop up the sides. So start out with your starburst. Just take that first one up and then go around clockwise. Counterclockwise, excuse me. Alright, once you've got the starbursts loomed, go on back down to the beginning, and starting here at the lowermost pin, you can go in and grab almost the bottom 2, the next 2 bottommost doubled bands, and pull it over itself and go in under all that. Grab those bottom 2 and pull it over, and those bottom two, and so on up the loom. Alright, you are actually going to stop right now here at this point, and you're done looping your zigzag border colors, and you can go back to the beginning and start at this lowermost pin, go in under all those bands and grab the ones on the bottom and pull them up and go on down the loom. You're going to go all the way down the loom, and when you get to here, go on up to this last pin. Alright, now all that's left to do is to go up this side. So go in through all of those bands, grab the bottom, and pull it on over itself. Alright, now to finish this bracelet, you are going to take a white band, or whatever color your border is, and go in through this last pin, stick your hook through, and grab that white band, and holding one side of it with your fingers, pull it up through there and put both ends onto your hook. So everything that's on that pin is now on this white rubber band, which is on your hook. And now you can grab a C-clip and take the two ends that are on your hook and put them onto your C-clip. And your bracelet is clipped. But also, you will want to take another white band and do the same thing on this end. So go in through here, take your rubber band on through, and clip those two ends. And now you can go back and take your bracelet off of the loom. Just carefully remove it one peg at a time. Alright, once you've got it off the loom, you can take your bracelet, take the end that does not have clips on it. This side over here, you can take the cap band right here and put that on this clip, and then just grab some of these bands to put onto the other clip. And there is your completed triangle burst bracelet. If you like this video, subscribe and keep watching for more bracelets coming soon. Thanks for watching.